Hello, everyone. I'm lcadilac. I am an attorney in Dallas, Texas, and I am a real estate litigation attorney. I go live every Friday at 10 a.m. So, we all have heard about impeachment, like at the presidential level, right? You're impeaching the president. That happened to Clinton, and I think it happened twice to Trump. And pretty much they were just caught in lies and rule breaking. And in a courtroom, it's kind of pretty much the same. Okay. Impeachment is basically catching a witness or someone in a lie in the courtroom. All right. It's just like a really nice way to say it. So I have whipped out the Black's Law Dictionary, which if you're a legal nerd, you probably want to purchase one of these or, just have the website. They made us like first year of law school, like, you need this. And my ass was so poor, I couldn't afford one. But I was like, I have Google. Okay, so there are different types of impeachment as it pertains to evidence. So impeachment is an allegation supported by proof that a witness who has been examined is unworthy of credit. Help me understand why, if you are the prosecution, you are spending so much time trying to find out how to impeach your own witness. The literal point of impeachment is to show that the person on the stand is not creditworthy. Why would you put the person on the stand if they're not creditworthy? Why would you impeach your own witness? Now, I could see if you had a hostile witness situation, potentially you would impeach them. Black's Law goes on and says a collateral impeachment of a judgment or decree is an attempt made to destroy or override its effect as an estoppel. And there's impeachment of waste, impeachment of annuity, and impeachment of the witness. Proof that the witness has testified in a case is unworthy of credit. All these weird, it's impeachment, the prior inconsistent statement is really what impeachment boils down to. Where that statement was made maybe would define different types of impeachment. But in my experience, in my practice, it's just impeachment. Okay, so some time ago, we were cleaning out the office. Okay, this is my old office. We were cleaning out the office and I ran into the transcript of my favorite cross-examination ever. And in this cross-examination, I impeached the witness within the first 4 minutes. Okay. And so one day we had a little extra time at work and I had Jamisha, who's sitting here. She used to work for me. And Cedriana, whose voice you'll hear, also used to work for me. And myself reenact the transcript. Y'all can see that it's called Cross-Examination. It is one of my videos. So if you want to go watch the whole thing, you can. But I wanted to use this because it is my favorite example of impeachment ever. It's my favorite example of cross-examination ever. All right, so I'm going to get into it. Who knows what Jamisha and I are talking about?
You live.
Okay, here we go.
Shall we begin?
Begin.
All right.
I've always had these bangs.
Good afternoon. Now, I'm not going to say the name because I don't want to.
Well, give her a name.
Oh, okay. Let's give her a name. Brenda. Good afternoon, Brenda.
Hello.
You don't always tell the truth, do you?
Did you hear that? My first question off the bat. You don't always tell the truth, do you? Ooh, I love it. I have used that line of questioning cross-examination several times. It is so impactful. Ooh. All right, here you go.
I always tell the truth.
Sometimes when it doesn't suit you, you lie about certain things, don't you?
No.
For example, you filed an original pleading in this case, didn't you?
So I soften her up. You don't always tell the truth. Oh, no, I always tell the truth, which is fucking bullshit. If someone asks me if I don't always tell the truth, I'll be like, hell yeah, I don't always tell the truth. I lied to my children for over a decade about Santa Claus. Each child, I lied to them. Every human who is a parent has lied. I lied to my children about so many things. My son literally thought that you had to be married in order to have a child. I didn't lie, but I never told him the whole truth. He obviously knows now, but when he was young, he thought you had to be married first. Okay, so every person, this woman I'm questioning, she is a grandmother raising her grandchild. So obviously she's lied, right? So right off the bat, I just got her. Oh, it was great. And the best part? This woman, I had to go against her in so many different things, but every time I did, she was so polite to me. She was always like, hi. and I would say hi, and she was just really friendly. Even though I just tore her apart here, she was still took it with a grain of salt, me realized it was my job, and here we go. All right.
You would have to ask my attorney what pleadings were filed. I'm sorry. I don't have that information in front of me.
In your pleading, you stated that your father died intestate, didn't you?
I don't have the paperwork in front of me. I'm sorry.
Your Honor, may I approach the witness?
So I said, you said your dad died intestate. Intestate means without a will. All right. When you die without a will, you die intestate, and there's a particular set of rules. When you have a will, you die testate. You're a testator, and there's a certain set of rules and pattern. Okay. So I'm now asking to approach the witness. Here comes the impeachment.
Yes, you may.
I'm showing the witness what has been previously marked as Defendant's Exhibit O. Brenda, do you recognize this document?
It is in an email from me to my sister.
Do you recognize that document because you wrote the document?
No, I read.
Okay, remember I have to lay predicates so I can get this piece of evidence entered. So do you recognize the document? How do you recognize the document, etc.?
Recognize it because I'm reading it.
Do you remember writing an email to your sister in December of 2012?
No, ma'am, I don't.
But you recognize your name on it?
I see my name on it, yes.
And your email address?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Your Honor, at this time, I'd like to admit into evidence what's been previously marked as Defendant's Exhibit O.
Objection. Hearsay, Your Honor.
Your Honor, it is not hearsay. It's
It cannot be hearsay. Sorry.
an admission by party opponent. It's an email. It comes from her email address to her sister.
Can you establish that with the witness? I've not seen the document you're referencing, so I have no...
I'm sorry, Your Honor. I had brought a book to the court.
When you reference zero, are you referring to the defendant?
Yes, Your Honor, the defendant's zero.
When you say defendant, are you referring to your client?
Obviously.
Yes, Your Honor. My stickers only say defendant or plaintiff. I use the defendant stickers.
I'm going to overrule the objection for now, but I'm not admitting to the document.
Brenda, if you would just read over that document quietly to yourself.
Okay.
Does that document help you refresh your recollection then that you did have a copy of your father's will?
It says I do. Yes, ma'am.
So you also did interrogatories for this case, didn't you?
I'm sorry. An interrogatory is...
It's part of the discovery process. You and your lawyer would have gone over some interrogatory requests for production, requests for admission.
My attorney and I did work together. I'm not sure what an interrogatory is. I'm not an attorney.
Your Honor, may I approach?
Yes, you may.
I'm presenting the witness what's been previously marked as Defendant's Exhibit VV. These are interrogatories she submitted on this case, and this is page 3 of the interrogatories. Can you read over this document?
Okay.
Pardon me, counselor. What's the exhibit letter?
Double V, Your Honor. May I approach the witness?
Yes, you may.
Does this document help you recall your submissions? This is page 8. It has your signature. Can you tell? Oh, it has the signature. Can you?
Guys, I just love this shit. This is like my favorite part of my job. Oh, so you lied. Well, do you remember doing this? And do you remember doing this? So were you lying then or are you lying now? Oh, God, this just gives me so much joy. It's sad.
Can you tell me whose signature that is?
My signature.
And it's stamped by a notary, isn't it?
Yes.
So you did indeed answer these questions, didn't you?
Yes.
And in your interrogatory, you stated you had a copy of the will and the codicil by January of 2017, didn't you?
Yes. My sister emailed them to me.
So why did you tell the court he died intestate?
I don't understand what the word intestate.
Okay, so I just impeached her, right? I came in, I said, you filed a document that says your dad died without a will, intestate. Yes, I showed the document, right? It's the first pleading before the court. It's part of the record. I don't even have to lay predicate for it, okay? It's immediately in. All right, so then, now again, I've already established with her, you don't always tell the truth. Of course I always tell the truth. She lied right there, right? So then I say, hey, but you remember this document? Yeah, and it says your dad didn't have a will, right? That's right. But over here in this email and in these other responses, you admit your dad did have a will, don't you? Yes, I do. So were you lying then or are you lying now? I love that question. I love asking that question. Were you lying then or are you lying now? Especially when you ask someone if they don't always tell the truth and they're, oh, yes, of course I tell the truth. First of all, nobody tells the truth all the time. There's no way that everybody is telling the truth all the time. I've seen that movie, The Invention of Lying, all right? Like, no, everybody is not telling the truth all of the time. So when she lied about that, and then I show on her face, you made this pleading that said your dad died without a will, but then you acknowledge the will in this email and you acknowledge it in these documents. That is impeachment. I impeached her. Okay? I impeached her real good. I literally love watching. I could go back and watch me reenact that. I could go back and read that transcript. For me, it's my favorite cross-examination that I've ever done. Hands down. Hands down. It was so fun because I knew she was lying because her initial filing to the court was a lie. So that's an impeachment, guys. It's not all this like hours long, like especially in front of a jury. Your impeachment should be concise. So in an impeachment situation, you need to be precise. I would say there's some times where there's evidence that wouldn't easily be admitted. Maybe it's hearsay evidence, right? But in some form, someone testified, blah, blah, blah. And then this hearsay contradicts what that person testified. Boom. Now you're impeached. The purpose of impeachment is to show that the witness is not credible, is to crack and hack away at the witness's credibility. Why? Why do you want to do that to your own witness? So sometimes what happens, usually, at least in my cases, most of the witnesses are just regular people, right? And so, I've had clients, they get so nervous, like they've never testified in court. I get nervous when I go to court, okay? So they're getting nervous. They're getting so nervous that they're overthinking and maybe they like answer something improperly because they're just not thinking right or whatever. Then I might impeach my witness. I might be like, okay, I know you just said this, but do you remember when you said this, and approach them and use that and impeach them and then ask them, because if they're my own witness, it's going to be like, so when you misstated it, or like which one is right? And when you just made the wrong one, were you trying to purposefully lie? Oh, no. Okay. Are you nervous? Yeah. You get into that. Okay, so you're really nervous. Are you having a hard time kind of following along? Okay. And that actually kind of looks good, right? Like, yeah, I have this poor innocent victim witness who has been victimized by this defendant or whatever. Not as innocent. Impeaching your witness in that way, I feel is okay. So I know like so many people had so many questions about impeachment, and impeachment is just so simple. They feel like I've already covered it with you. Like, I don't know, if you have more questions about impeachment, please ask me. But otherwise, like, that's how you impeach. That was a video of a transcript. I impeached someone. Really easy. Did you say this? Then show them where they said something the opposite and ask them where they were lying. But usually that kind of work is reserved for cross-examination, right? Mine that I just showed you was a cross-examination because I want to show she's a liar. I do want to discredit her. All right, so if y'all have any more questions about impeachment, please put them in the chat.